He never imagined they would notice. He thought everything would stay the same, that no one would ask questions, and that this part of the story would remain unspoken. But when you're too confident that everything is under control, sometimes you make the mistake that ends up revealing everything. It all started with a seemingly simple transfer. A small, almost insignificant move, one of those that seem unimportant. But this time it was different, because that detail began to raise doubts, and those doubts grew until they became impossible to ignore. She arrived with her phone in her hand and a calmness that spoke volumes. She didn't need to say much to make it clear that something didn't add up. She had already seen enough to understand that behind it all was a truth that someone was trying to hide. He tried to maintain his composure, smile, answer calmly, and act as if nothing was happening. But when fear creeps in, it shows. It shows in his eyes. It shows in the silence. You can feel it in that tension that arises when someone knows they're about to be discovered. And then, everything started to change. Their gazes grew more serious. The atmosphere became heavy. Every second made it clearer that this transfer wasn't just an insignificant detail. It was the missing piece needed to begin to understand what was really happening. When another person appeared, everything started to fall into place even more. The doubts ceased to be mere suspicions. The story began to take shape. And what seemed like a controlled situation became an impossible moment to sustain. Because there are truths that can be hidden for a while, but not forever. And there are mistakes that, however small they may seem, end up opening the door to everything someone wanted to keep secret. In the end, no one needed to confess anything. No grand scene or perfect explanation was needed. A single movement was enough for everyone to understand that behind this transfer, there was much more than what they wanted to show. And that's when everything changed. Because sometimes a lie isn't broken with words. Sometimes it's broken with a simple detail that arrives at the perfect moment. And this time, that detail was enough for the truth to begin to emerge.